AEW Dynamite September to Remember was a disaster of a show, a waste of time, and it shows you that AEW really has been on a downward spiral for months. Basically, for most of 2025, and we only have about 2.5, 3 months left of the year, and I doubt it'll get any better. So, we're going to spend a little bit of time on Dynamite, not too much, and then from there we will get into the predictions for this Saturday's AEW All Out, and it will be the same night as WrestlePalooza, but AEW will be in the afternoon at 3 p.m., 12 p.m. on the West Coast. So, it is what it is. If you use Max, you're going to have to pay $40, and if you use Amazon Prime, you'll have to pay $50. So you're only just saving $10. So it doesn't really matter. Nothing's going to change. I feel that AEW and the pay-per-views really should be at least $10 to $15 to watch. At least. Bare minimum. Bare minimum should be about $10 to $15, and then the max should be about $20 to $25. But it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and get into this worthless show. So we kicked the show off with the contract signing of Hangman Adam Page and Kyle Fletcher. So basically, Don Callis, he starts to speak for Kyle Fletcher. He says that he remembers when Hangman took the title off of Kenny Omega 2 years ago. And he found someone who was bigger, faster, and better than Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. He says there's nothing that Page can do to the all-time stud athlete. There's no one like Kyle Fletcher. He says that the title's coming to the family. Page tells him that after last week, he thought he agreed he doesn't need any help. He says he's tired of half the roster he says half the roster, my bad. He says he's getting tired of half the roster getting tired of interfering in matches. He tells Kyle Fletcher that he sees potential in him and what he could be. He's only 26 years old, that being Kyle Fletcher. He could be in AEW for decades. He says that he's someone that the entire roster can look at to carry the company. And if he wants that, he has to be the man who's worthy of it. He's going to have to earn it on his own. So Kyle Fletcher then tells Hangman that that doesn't scare him. He says he could put anything in his contract and he would still beat him. He congratulates Hangman and says that he has it in writing. He said that he's still the best professional wrestler to ever step foot in AEW. He said he's better than Hangman was in 2019 when he first challenged the title. He's better than him in 2021, and he won it, and he's better than him right now. He says AEW doesn't need Hangman anymore. It needs Kyle Fletcher, and he'll allow him to ride off in the sunset because the title and the entire company belongs to Kyle Fletcher. So Hangman says that he knows how it feels like to be him, but how's Kyle going to feel the day after All Out? And then Kyle Fletcher says that he promises to leave with the TNT and world title. He says tonight he was going to leave Hangman bloodied, beaten, and unable to walk out. Until that moment comes, Hangman tells him to say, Kyle Fletcher tells him to say his full name, and then that was it. So this is fine there. I forgot to mention, the stipulation is if anybody from the Don Callis family gets involved, Kyle Fletcher is stripped immediately of the TNT Championship. So that's pretty cool there. I do like that caveat, but it is what it is. Moving on, let's listen to the first match of the night. Jon Moxley defeats Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong. Who cares about this shit? This is a waste of time. Moxley wins. I don't care about this. So then this leads us into Bobby Lashley defeating Tolo Leon with the full Nelson, with the Hurt Lock, put him to sleep. So that's cool there. The Hurt Syndicate, MVP and Shelton, they ended up kicking Ricochet and the other member of Gates of Agony's ass, which is pretty cool. That's okay there, I guess. I don't really care, for being honest. Moving on. So Tony Schiavone, he shows up for the second time. This time it involves Christian Cage and Edge, along with FTR and Stokely Hathaway. So basically, Stokely gets on the mic and says that if they touch FTR, it's $100,000. And if they touch him, it's going to be $500K. And he says that if they also touch him, the match is going to be canceled. And he knows that their entire family and friends will be disappointed in them. So Cash gets on the mic and just says that he's known Edge for 16 years and all that stuff and everything. Who cares? So Dax says that him and Cash have won gold all around the world, across different brands and everything else. They talked about their matches with DIY and Enzo and Kaz and the Briscoes trilogy, which was pretty cool there. So Edge gets pissed off, tells him to shut up. He says he doesn't care about FTR. He says they broke their friendship. And then Christian Cage, he basically just eggs on FTR, and then a brawl ensues, and that was the end of the segment. So Christian Cage and Edge, they beat up security guards. Cool, that kicks ass. Great shit there. Moving on, this leads us into the Young Bucks versus Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn. AEW World Tag Team Championship qualifier. It's going to be a ladder match at All Out. The Young Bucks, they win. I don't care about this shit at all. Who gives a fuck? Moving on. Mascara Dorada defeats the Beast Mortos. He wins, so he wins their whatever. He wins via a shooting star press. Cool there. Okada came out. He had a stare down with Takeshita, so apparently it's going to be a triple threat match. It's going to be Takeshita, Okada, and Mascara Dorado. All right, that's fine, I guess. Do I care? Not really. Toni Storm comes out, and she just says some stuff. She talks about how she's going to hold on to the title and everything. She won her back 7 months ago. She lived every day like it was her last. She slayed Beast, belt collectors, and forever champions. She says AEW is one of the best wrestle. And if you're not willing to put your life in the ring, when you step in the ring, you ain't shit. So that's great there. She says she's going to risk it all for the 3 letters and the title. And she says that if it is the end of her reign, it's been an honor. It's been the honor of her life. If they really want to take it from her, they better burn her body to the ground. So, then she says, pack her ashes into a pipe and take a puff, because no one ever get them as high as her. So I do like that, really good stuff. Then Jamie Hayter, she came out and said some stuff and all that jazz. She says that she's a fan. She's a fan of the Spotlight, and after All Out, she won't look too good without her title. It's been a long time since it's been just them, and she wants Tony to remember 3 things. 1, she doesn't forget. 2, that Tony invited her into the match. And 3, Hater hits hard. So Chris Statlander, she comes out. She says that she hadn't had a title match in 4 years. Tony tells them to trim their bushes because it's All Out. So Tekla comes out, and this leads us into the main event, which is Tekla defeating Queen Amanada. The match didn't last long. It was no holds barred match for whatever reason. It was like a good 5 to 8 minutes long. So there is that. And then that was the end of the show. I did not watch Collision. Collision was a part of this, so whatever. I don't give a shit about this. Dynamite was trash, garbage, a waste of time. Let's go ahead and get into the predictions for All Out. We know it's going to be a long one. We know that they're going to go for a long show. It's probably going to be about 4.5, 5 hours. They probably want to do at least the first hour of WrestlePalooza. So there's that. We know that's going to happen. So All Out is going to take place at the the Scotia Bank Arena, which holds a pretty good bit of people. So 20,000 for basketball, 19K for basketball as well, standing. Concerts, 19K, hockey and other sports, 18. So basically they can hold about 20,000, roughly thereabout. Okay, that's cool. Good stuff there. We have how many matches on the card? We have 13 matches on this show. What the hell? Oh my God. Oof. This is awful. This is absolutely awful. I'm pretty sure some of this will probably take place on the pre-show, but for right now we have 13 matches. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oof. Good God. What the hell? This is going to be a long-ass show. This is going to be a long-ass show. All right, so let's go with Daniel Garcia versus Tatsuro Shibata. Garcia's going to win. Who cares about this? We're going to have a tag match, the Ops, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs taking on the Workhorsemen, JD Drake, and Anthony Bowens. The Ops are going to win that. We got the 8-woman tag. It's going to be a brawl of some sort. It's going to be Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Amanada, and Willow Nightingale versus Megan Bang, Penelope Ford, and the Triangle of Madness, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. The heels will probably win that one. Then we have the Hurt Syndicate. It's a trios match, 6-man tag. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP versus Ricochet and his homies, Bishop Khan and Tola Leon. The Hurt Syndicate's going to win that. Mercedes Moné versus Riho. Mercedes Moné is going to retain the TBS Championship. Then we have Darby versus Jon Moxley, coffin match. Darby will win that one. Mark Briscoe versus MJF. Tables and thumbtacks, MJF. Then we got Thomas Tony Storm, Fatal 4-Way for the AEW Women's World Championship. Thomas Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Tekla. Thomas Tony Storm's going to win. Why would she lose? Then we have Okada versus Takeshita and Mascara Dorada, triple threat for the AEW Unified Championship. Okada's going to retain. Big Bill versus Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston. Then we got the Fatal 4-Way ladder match. AEW World Tag Team Championships. Brodito, The Bucks, Jet Speed, and the Don Cost family. Josh Alexander and Hechicero. Either Brodito and the Young Bucks. One of those two teams are going to win. I'm going to go with probably the Young Bucks winning. So there is that. And that's basically the card. Don't really care about it. Most of it seems... Oh, the main event of the evening I forgot to mention. Edge and Christian versus FTR. Obviously, Edge and Christian are going to win, and that's going to be the main event. The co-main event I forgot to mention is going to be Kyle Fletcher and Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship. Hangman's going to retain, so there's that. To me, I feel like 13 matches is way too much, but it is what it is. But what did you guys think of AEW, and what are your predictions for All Out? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.